Yeah. See, I wanted to discuss about something which is slightly different from what my previous presenters have given you. The translation of traditional treasures. Now the world is in the process of understanding what is treasure in the world, and we must all first of all thank God. Still, we are all breathing. When so many lakhs of people succumb to the pandemic, Corona COVID-19, we are all able to still breathe, and we are able to discuss something about health. This is only because of, I believe, only because of the grace of the God, and as well as the treasures of the nature. So now people started understanding what is the real treasure, whether the bank account balance is the treasure or our health is the treasure. I think most of us now we will believe our health is the real treasure in our life. We are seeing every day in newspaper so many cases of unfortunate cases of people suffering because of COVID-19, children losing parents because of COVID incidences and all. So that is why this topic is very important. Now the world is very desperate also to find solutions, to find simple solutions to come out of this pandemic. Everybody wants to have a single tablet or single formula which can save people from this virus. So that's why industries like us, we are in the process of translating the traditional knowledge from across the globe into a usable form of nutraceutical formula or a health supplement or food supplement. That is the need of the hour. Today the world needs so many type of solutions, health solutions, to tackle the different symptoms of the current pandemic. So I wanted to take you through the real challenges in R&D whenever we are developing a product of nutraceutical formula or food supplement. What are all the challenges we face, and what are all the areas we are working to produce a product? Before going into that, what WHO says about traditional medicines or traditional treasures, in other words. These are the theories and experiences of indigenous cultures. Now we are having people, more than 400 people from across the different parts of the globe. In every region of these places, there are some historic practices, age-old practices, which saved people for more than thousands of years. Those practices combined together only considered as a traditional medicine. They are for prevention, diagnosis, and improvement and treatment of any physical or mental illness. The most of the time when you see modern medicine, they don't give much importance to mental illness, mental health. They don't combine these two. But in traditional systems, if you go to any part of the world, they combine both mental health as well as the physical health. Modern medicine nowadays focus mainly on the symptoms and clinical parameters and suppressing the symptoms by giving some synthetic products. So that is why now the world wants to think about traditional medicines, think about taking they want to understand about safety of the traditional medicines and so on. So even WHO also now recommends traditional medicines as part of this treatment regimen. And if you see why we are calling it as a treasure, why we call it as a treasure, we most often combine the word treasure with some form of money or gold or diamond or something else. But if you see in medicine world, if you see the allopathic system, you have many compounds synthesized in the laboratory by the discovery as well as invention processes of chemistry and other biotechnological processes. You can see total number of approved drugs in the market, 14,528. You take any disease in the world, one out of these 14,528 compound will be used, which is manufactured by different pharmaceutical companies across the globe. And the other side, if you see traditional treasure, which are now the world is looking at this as a weaker option because of the lack of evidences and supportive documents. But when you really see this, now this is the strongest system exists in the world which can save human race. Because if you can see in India itself, there are different forms of traditional medicines: Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, homeopathy. You can see the number of herbs used. In Ayurveda alone, there are more than 2,000 different plants being used for the treatment of various ailments. And if you see in Siddha medicine, 1,300. Totally effective plant-based formulations, traditional as well as folk medicine. In India alone, we have some 25,000 different formulations effectively, which can be used to treat people for various ailments. That is why we call it as a traditional treasure. This treasure, most of it is unexplored. Maybe we are using only 5 or 10% of this 25,000 effectively across the globe to save people. The remaining 90%, 80 to 90% is unexplored. People needed to do research and bring them into a form of usable form of either nutraceutical or health supplement or food supplement. That is what we are referring to as translation of traditional treasure. This 25,000 formula, which can be studied by various means, they can be developed into a product of easy access to everyone in the globe. That is what we are trying to do. And you need to understand how these products can be converted into medicines. For example, modern medicines, most of the modern medicines are derived from some plants. For example, in this slide, you can see an anti-cancer plant used traditionally need to be extracted. The plant need to be extracted, and it should be studied in some rodents or cell line culture studies to get the proof whether it is working or not. That proof is required for industries to bring that material into a form of product. So that is what we refer to as a translation of the traditional knowledge. And if you see the drug discovery cycle, it is a very complex process. When we are buying any product, we easily buy and use it, and we only discuss about the cost of the product, cost of the drug. But when you go behind that, there is a lot of work behind the development of any drug. There are so many assays after identification of some compound. People do a lot of assays in the laboratory, in different types of laboratories, and different types of studies are done, investing a lot of money. And then finally, when after everything is thoroughly verified, then only it comes to the market. The same thing is applicable to traditional medicines also. That is also a challenge. The challenge of converting all these traditional formula into a form of acceptable form of health formula. And you can see many examples of commonly used drugs originated from plants. For example, aspirin. Aspirin is actually originated from a plant called salix. Then you have digoxin, a cancer compound. Then you have L-Dopa. Then the most famous anti-malarial drug, quinine, which is actually derived from a plant, cinchona. You can see the beauty of the nature also. These plants are not only giving medicinal properties, they look very beautiful also. Whenever you see a beautiful plant with beautiful flowers, you can always remember it may be having some healing power of nature, which can be utilized for saving some human life. So that is why I wanted to share this. And then in research and development, you have a lot of challenges. A container of Orien'S food supplement or nutraceutical product comes to your desk after undergoing all these challenges. For example, first, identification of the medicinal plant itself is a challenge. You need a taxonomical expert to identify the plant. If the plant is wrongly identified, instead of giving a medicine, you may be giving a toxic plant. So that is an important challenge. The first step is itself is a very critical step. And then people need to do phytochemical profile. What are all the active ingredients present in it, which needs a lot of laboratory investment like HPLC, HPTLC. These are all high-tech analytical equipments being used in the laboratories to understand the chemical nature of the extracts. And then you have to verify the toxicity, whether the extract is toxic or not. Even though traditionally it is practiced, we need to verify whether it is safe or not. And then people need to understand effectiveness of the drug. Our previous doctor also explained about formulas for diabetes, gymnemic acid, and other important herbs. They need to be evaluated in animal models. Most of the formulas which we are using in Orien'S, we have done some animal studies to evaluate their effectiveness in animal models of diseases. For example, diabetes means there will be an animal model which is having this diabetic symptoms. In that model, we need to give this product and evaluate whether it is effective or not. Then only it comes to the license part. And then another major challenge is international harmonization. Plants grown in different parts of the globe, they have differences. A neem tree growing in India is different from neem tree growing in Malaysia. So we need a system to harmonize these plant extracts across the globe in different parts of the world. That also another ongoing process. There is no end for these processes. It needs to be keep on continuing throughout the human history. And then this sustained availability. Some of the plants are being extinct. Endangered species are there, very rare herbs. Those herbs need to be protected. For example, herbs like ginseng and all, we need to protect. Otherwise, over exploitation of these herbs will also lead to scarcity of some of the health solutions. And then also we need to do stability studies. We keep all our products stable for 2 years. That needs to be evaluated in the laboratory at a different temperature and different climatic conditions, whether the product is stable or not. That also another challenge. So these are all the challenges before developing any product into a form of nutraceutical. And then I wanted to introduce one terminology, reverse pharmacology. In medicine field, people may come across this word pharmacology. It looks very complex, but the meaning is very simple. Pharmacology is nothing but whenever you are taking a nutraceutical formula or a drug, how your body system reacts to that, how that drug interacts in your body. For example, people referred gymnemic acid. How this gymnemic acid works inside our body. It goes to the pancreas and stimulates the pancreatic cells to secrete insulin. That is how it works. This mechanism, what we are discussing now, this is called pharmacology. Originally in modern science, there will be always research from lab to clinic. Any product, any formula, any drug will be evaluated in the laboratory first, and then it goes for the approval of FDA or other drug agencies, and then it goes to the clinic, to the doctor to prescribe to patients. But in traditional medicine, we have a lot of clinical data, lot of clinical references. People have practiced this for more than 5,000 years. This is a strong proof available in the history also about these traditional formulas. So that is why people do reverse pharmacology from clinic to lab. Whatever formula the Siddha Ayurvedic practitioners are suggesting, that need to be evaluated in the lab in the reverse way method. We need to evaluate in the lab thoroughly and get the scientific proofs, and then it will be more stronger option for the people. So that is what the approach needed for translation of traditional knowledge into an applicable, usable form of nutraceutical. So the other side, another thing, this is very, very important. There is a critical role of traditional knowledge in the current world. Now, the human race is in a position of all or none. Either we will all survive or none of us will be surviving. Countries who recovered completely from corona second wave or third wave need to be bothered about countries where corona is spreading fast now also, because by accidentally, if for example in India second wave is still not peaking, by accidentally some Indians goes to Europe or US, this variant of corona can be spread in other part of the world. That is why all or none, the countries who are having better medical facility need to support countries who are suffering also. In the same way, we are moving towards a co-win world. We all together should win. Modern medicine should combine with the traditional medicine, and then only we can win out of this pandemic situation. Because even in India recently, in our own state of Tamil Nadu, people started acknowledging and accepting the value of traditional practices. Our state government opened a lot of traditional clinics, the Siddha clinics around our state to reduce the number of cases of COVID. So that is why the world needs to move forward towards a co-win situation, where all types of medical practices should complement each other. The allopathic system should complement traditional practices, complementary practices. Then only collectively all of us can win and we can make our future generation, our children, breathe and lead a healthy life. That's why an integrated treatment system combining vaccines, you cannot eliminate vaccines, but you cannot only survive only with vaccines also. You need vaccines, you need drugs, you need traditional medicines, nutraceuticals. For example, nutraceuticals like vitamin C, zinc supplement. It is inevitable now. Everybody needs to use it. Now there is variants of this supplement, vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin D3 combination. That is also very essential for everyday life, even for healthy people. So these are the things which are leading to an integrated treatment system, which is required for the current world, which is having a lot of desperation. In this slide, you can also see other thing. What are the ways nutraceuticals support COVID-19 symptoms? You can see 13 different kind of complications arising out of COVID-19 can be supported by the use of various types of nutraceuticals. That is why our presence in the society, our work in the society is very, very critical. We need to do more work. We need to support people more with our knowledge of the traditional practices. And then this is reflected in the market situation also. There is a growing demand, global demand for nutraceuticals and traditional medicines. If you see in US alone, the nutraceutical market is expected to do around US dollars 180 billion, and there is a growth of 7.52 in the last year itself. And also the global spices market also keep improving. We all know most of the spices are being practiced in Ayurvedic and traditional practices. These are the indicators that we are having a good future using these traditional pressures in terms of health as well as in terms of business perspective also. And considering this importance of translational research, the need for translating all these traditional practices into current world solutions, Orien'S is very much committed towards investing in R&D. We started investing during this tough time also. We have invested a huge amount of investment on different analytical equipments for our R&D facility in Chennai. We are procuring HPLC, stability chamber, protein analyzer, fat extractor. Still many more advanced analytical equipments are going to be set up in our R&D facility to explore the traditional treasures in a scientific manner and go for providing many more health solutions in our portfolio. And also, not only that, we also maintain very good international standards in our production facility as well as in our all processes. We maintain GMP, we maintain ISO 9001, 45001, and halal certification. Then we maintain environmental safety procedures like ISO 14001, US FDA. Also, we are part of HATSA community also. So these are all the measures we are taking to take care of the regulatory aspect of all our products. Nobody need to bother about the safety as well as regulatory aspects of our products. And also we do have all the mandatory licenses. Any nutraceutical product or food supplement needs credible license from government agencies. The two major licenses are FSSAI by Government of India and Ayush license from Ministry of Ayush, Government of India. We have both these licenses for our all various products, and we are also going for advanced licenses like Ayush Premium Product License. That is under process due to this Corona, this lockdown period, it is getting delayed. We will be getting soon those type of certifications also. So these are the things which we are away from science and research and development. We are taking care about the products. So with this, I think translation of traditional medicine is an inevitable phenomena which should happen in industries like us. We need more industries work towards this type of goal. If you see most of our products, most of our supplements, these are all not just only done research. Our own directors over the years, they used this and we experienced that benefit of that. For example, myself also for the past 2 years, I use most of our products for protecting myself in traveling long distances also and protecting our my own respiratory health also. So that's why the traditional translation of traditional medicine is a very important thing. People should discuss more. The time is, I think I am crossing my time. We can discuss throughout the day also, no problem. In the next time we can discuss. So with this, I wanted to conclude with the healing power of nature and the treasures of nature together. This 500 plus many more 500 people around the globe, we can achieve, create a happier, healthier tomorrow for everyone. So that should be remembered in all our everyday activity. Thank you very much for your patient listening. I hope I have not bored you people. Thank you. Thank you, Manoj. Thank you very much.
Thank you so